A Villain in Venice, Jane of the Air, Book 1. A steampunk detective and aviatrix and part-time spy. Available now. All profits to the NHS.
Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast. This time talking about Series 1, Episode 5 of Lovecraft Country. Now, as I said last time, I've kind of lost faith in this series. The gratuitous nakedness, the sex, the pointlessness, the absence of any actual Lovecraftian monsters, well, that's just getting on my nerves. Yes, the race aspect is bringing me along with it. It's enticing me into watching more episodes. And yes, I get it. The monsters are the humans. Except they're not. They're going to be the monsters and the humans as well. And this is the episode which basically is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but it's not. It's Ruby and Ruby. Where Ruby, who is, the sister of the main character who wants to work in a shop, gets to be white and experience the world of being white. But she changes shape, she changes a lot of things. And at the beginning, where the white guy is straddling over her, removing something from inside of her, stabbing, it just didn't really need to be shot that way. Perhaps it's because I enjoyed things like Buffy and I'm comparing it to things like that. And this is just not my sensibilities. I want it to be better, and I'm just not getting it. The scary shock moment of the whole episode should have been the guy in the locker. But there was just so many other grossy out bits. The transformations were well executed, but were just over the top. There's no need for it. There's an absence of mass when the character changes from one colour to another. Their whole body is changing shape, and it's just not working. Yes, performance-wise, I couldn't fault it, but effects-wise, not for me. I think the casting of the white version of Ruby could have been just better and more true. Yeah? I'm just not going with this. Oh, look, there's one moment where we've got a puzzle to solve and a little bit of maths, and then you've got the storyline with the dad, which just sounds like, yeah, we've all jumped on lots of bandwagons and we need to cram everything we can into this series, except, of course, respect for women, which is just missing. Hiring people to turn up and take their kid off, yeah, because that's what you've done. All of these people who were on Game of Thrones who now have come out and said they felt uncomfortable and not able to protest, well, isn't that just more the same here? I don't think I'll be watching this series anymore. It's not for me. And until there's a giant Cthulhu or dimensional shambler, I think I'd be better off playing on my Switch the Call of Cthulhu computer game, because you get to do some investigation and some proper detective work. Perhaps that's more for me. Perhaps I'm better off playing 7th edition of the game, which is a shame, because I really, really held out hope. So until next time, when I'll be back talking about something much more up my street, be seeing you. That was the Tin Dog Podcast. Available on Spotify, iTunes, Acast, Stitcher and wherever good podcasts are found. Get early access to content by subscribing to the Tin Dog Podcast YouTube channel. You can support the show at patreon.com/tindog. Contact the show on Twitter at tindogpodcast or email tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. All of the things discussed are the intellectual property of others. No infringement is intended. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.